making a video. As you can see, I got a little bit of a tan, and I forget this, but I get sunburn. I get sunburn all over my shoulder. I can feel it right now. It's all like on my shoulders. I didn't feel like I got any on my face, but a little bit on my chest, got a tan. But anyway, I wanted to talk about the experience being over at Rosemead Pool. Okay, so I really don't know how to go about this circumstance, because it's like this everywhere I go. There's so much attention, there's so much stalking, there's so much correlation of people like just engulfing, like I'm the center of attention, and I'm always like by myself. You have no idea like what it's really like, because there's no heterosexual females. I went there to that Rosemead Pool. There was not one heterosexual female in the entire place. Just like any grocery store, any restaurant I go to. And, it's very intoxicating because, not everyone behaves the same. And why is it that you think that it's so normal to be a transgender and you don't care? Then why are there no heterosexual females working along with them, like in the same environment? Like why doesn't it matter? If it doesn't matter, then why aren't they working together, right? I remember 20 years ago, you could go to Albertsons, you could go to a Kroger, and you would see one heterosexual female, whether she was in her 60s or 50s, and she was just working to pay her bills, whatever it may have been. But there was one or two or three, or you would see a teenager that was 16 or 17 years old, heterosexual female, working to save up money for a car, then go to college, whatever it may be. No, they're not working in any of the places. They've been entirely abandoned, and it is an entire gay pride parade. And it's very lost to me to why this is happening. Why is it that I think in all the airports that I went to in the last probably 2 years to 3 years, I saw one heterosexual female at a register, and she looked scared. She looked like she was being singled out. And since I was raped, and I know that that's such an awful word to say, because that's what happened with these electronic devices. I don't know who was shooting it at me, but it does a wide range of mechanisms. It does a wide range of violent behavior to the body, to the physical mind and body. They can literally just turn it on when they want to, and it is it's very technical. I have no idea how they install it, whether it's installed into my phone or it's installed in maybe something like this, like they hide it, because everything I have in my room, everything that I have in my backpack, people just break into my room. So they'll start stalking everything that I have. Everything that I have, everything that I do, somebody's coming in here and observing and taking pictures and then sending it to their gay community members, so that then they can figure out things to do to me. So they'll place these electronic devices, and there's so much attention that the gay community and transgenders can contact anyone in power and anyone in IT department, hackers, the police department, anybody in any power, managers at places, because it's a gang unit. And when this happens, they have access to my Amazon account, they have access to my PayPal accounts, and they know how much money I have in my PayPal accounts, and it's crazy the amount of stalking that's happening. When you have that level of power that's dominating on a person, what happens is you have these really dark souls, like these. It's almost like really bad, like demon people, like people, like they are homosexual or transgender crazy, and they want to put pain and suffering on me. Like you can tell that if they had to change to put cyanide in my food and I wasn't watching, they would fucking do it in a heartbeat. There's no fucking doubt in my mind. Like there's something about the attention that they're getting and the statue trophy that they feel with themselves if they know they can do something to harm me and just make my life as miserable as they can. And someone, I don't know who's doing this, but a group of people, what they're doing is they take pictures of my room, video camera, and they're sending it all to their homosexual and transgender message boards and group chats. So everyone knows who the hell I am, because someone is not just paying attention to my Facebook wherever I can. They're also doing this on a private message board and text message groups to come after me. And it's very crazy, because out of every video that I've ever talked about, I can never explain how many times I talk about there is some sort of a frequency device. I don't know who's placing it. I don't know where it is. It's because they can look. I leave my laptop on my bed. It's easy for them to, I leave the door wide open now. They can come in here, break into my room when I'm gone for 7 or 8 hours, take my laptop to fucking 1-800-GEEKS, open the fucking laptop, install a fucking hidden camera, a little electronic device, close it back up, and then set it right there to someone that is a genius toward computers, and I wouldn't know the fucking difference. And I want to say that I think it is absolutely important for me to say this, because look, at this experience, when I was at Rosemead Pool, I swam for about, I don't know, an hour or so, some laps, and just kind of loathed in the fucking water. And it's just when I got there, I brought my fish, I brought tilapia, sat at a bench in the corner of the entire place by myself, and I ate my food. And I waited for about 5 or 10 minutes, and then I jumped into the pool for about an hour and got out. And, just observing, watching everything. And I decided to go in and get something to drink. And I needed to find a table to do some schoolwork. So I had to go way on across the other side of the complex pool, where all a bunch of chairs and kind of where the kids are and stuff like that. So I went over there, kind of to the corner, got some tables, sat down, and I started studying. And I started finishing up my workbook for later down the road, some studies, school studies. And I got to finish a chapter. And while I'm sitting there, I'm bothering nobody. I don't say anything. I'm very quiet. I'm by myself. There's a group, there's people behind me, there's people to the side of me, not directly behind me, but sort of to the side, and then over here, and then way over here, there's all these, probably 20 people. And they're all kind of family over there, and then there's in front of me about 20 yards, there's all the kids are playing in the pool, or the little kiddie water park thing they have. And right in front of me, there's another table, and they have this transgender that sits down, brings her little girl or little kid, and they're sitting in. I'm not paying attention. People are with their families, and they're just trying to enjoy the water, and I'm not here to do anything bad. I'm just here to do schoolwork, enjoy the sun just like they are, and not bother anybody. But the attention that they want to control me and whoever's, I don't know who sets these electronic devices. Like I'm sitting there doing nothing, doing schoolwork, and this lady just starts looking at me. And this is like the first 10 minutes of me sitting down, and it's 100 degrees outside. I'm sitting in this canopy, and it's really, really hot, and I'm exhausted. Like I feel really exhausted. Like I was like, damn, I'm tired. My eyes started sinking into my eyes. Like I was really exhausted, and I was like, damn, I'm gassed, and I haven't exercised. I haven't been able to exercise and all this stuff because I used to do really rigorous workouts and exercising all the time. Like I was really built. I was benching like 285 pounds easily. I can't tell you how many distances in years I walked for hours on end with a 20-pound backpack. You know, like literally like a survivor in the woods. So I know, and traveling a lot is very difficult. And let me tell you, I'm exhausted, but I'm trying to keep my head up and just kind of let it just wear off and just give it a minute so that I can kind of get, kind of re-rest. And I start to feel better about 5 or 10 minutes more. But while this is happening, there's a person in front of me with their daughter, and then like this guy shows up, and this white guy, and I don't know, this girl looked half Asian, half Mexican. And I'm not saying anything. I'm not here to bother anybody. I'm just people watching, just watching whatever is going on. And, as I'm doing work, I occasionally look up and I notice that this person is sort of wanting to get my attention. And it's this transgender that is like facing toward directly at me, but she has a little kid in front of her. And her husband is like, or whoever this guy was, is holding this little baby. There's a little girl, and this her child, the kid, and I'm not thinking anything of it other than like, why do you keep looking at me like? And this person goes and starts to use the child as a weapon, as to then sort of direct the language at me, like talk to me like a little kid and tell me like, no, that's stealing, that doesn't belong to you, and say it in an aggressive way, and the conversation has nothing to do with what you're telling that little girl. Like, I don't know where I've sort of been paying attention about what's going on and what's being said, and I don't, like, they're sort of using the kid as a weapon. And I think to myself, what the hell are they doing? Like, what, and they're talking about this because, look, I'm in a circumstance where I have no communication with my mother. It's only my mother's sister, identical sister. I don't know who's controlling her, but there is $175,000 that ended up missing. And I found this out about 5 years ago. And it went literally against, is just stolen money. I don't know who the hell, I was there for my father. I was very close to him up until I was about 12 or 13 years old. He was retired the entire time, that nearly since I was age about 4 years old from Texas Instruments. He had a bachelor's degree in nursing for the University of Kansas. He's a World War II veteran, and he was born in 1925. Okay, so while I understand who this person is and goes on my soccer games, defends me, I was really close to my father, and unfortunately there was a drug overdose, and I spent the next 7 years, from about 13 years old to about late 12 years old, just about 13 years old, to about 19 years old, going to a nursing home at least once or twice a week. Like at least there once a week, without a doubt, for my entire high school and middle school, the entire time. I was always like having friends, but I always went there at night. My mother would drop me off. I knew what he wanted to do with his house, with his money. There was 2 kids, my mother. Whatever happened, I don't know who got involved, bought my mother a house or bought my mother a car. And I don't want to go into more details, but my father had $50,000 sitting in a bank, and the value of the house is $125,000. My mother's sister's twins were never there or involved, and I knew what my father wanted. I don't know where they got this information. other than watching my Facebook videos because I was pleading for somebody because this is stolen money. And now they're using my mother's sisters to turn against me, and my mother had a first grade education. All of a sudden, this money's missing, and my father got thrown in a casket without even saying that he was a World War II veteran. He's one of the first Hispanics in the United States with a bachelor's degree from nursing, and doesn't even say that he's a World War II veteran. Like, nobody gave a shit. And the plan was to steal his money, and there was a longer story to this because my mother had her other 2 kids, but my father didn't know that my brother was an identical twin that got kidnapped in a different city. So there's a lot of drama that goes into this, other than we were all a close family. There was too many people that found out that there's money, and went against everything my father wanted. He, from the very beginning, and he said this to my 2 brothers and my mother, especially me, I do not want my money to be taken by anybody. I want it to go to my brother Julian, Hector, and Frankie. I do not want you to sell this house. That is my house. And he was fully paid off for it. He got thrown in a nursing home. They waited for him to die, and I don't know who the psychologists are. I don't know who's spending all the money with lawyers, but they're literally beating the shit out of me with an electronic device, sending as many people as well to come at me with this personal information to tell me who's going to get this money, who's going to control what, who deserves what part of this. And this is what Raymond said. No, you don't know who Raymond Palomo is. That is my father, you fucking thieves. And I feel like screaming like, you fucking murdering pieces of shit, you worthless transgender motherfucker. My dad kicked out 3 of these fucking he kicked out 3 of the transgenders. My grandma, my fucking Aunt Lupe, and fucking Ceci. He said, get the fuck out of my house. Like, I was there, and I had nothing to do with it. There's $175,000 that went missing. I get kicked out. I don't know anything about lawyers. I have to fend for myself. I don't find out later until I'm 35 years old that some Dream Makeovers Home Edition or some very wealthy person showed up, stole the fucking money and house, disappeared, and now they know that I'm figuring this shit out, and they got caught. So what they're doing now is they're sending their transgenders and homosexuals to come fucking threaten me and beat the shit out of me with electronic devices to tell me where Mr. Raymond Palomo's money and assets and home, real estate that he owned, where it's going to go, and that I don't own any of it. They're putting Frankie in charge. No, they're giving a partial it to Julian, and no, they're putting my mother's twin in charge. It's fucking crazy, and they're doing this at this house. And they're doing this very specifically. Like when I'm sitting there at Rosemead Pool, that's why that person is telling me that. They're trying to turn the tables on a man that's fucking dead. Like, I have a dead sister that died when I was 14 years old. Like 6 months, like when my dad got overdosed on fucking pills. 6 months, there's a little girl that dies. And I don't even know this is my sister. Like, there's no proper burial. Like, this is how many people were attacking my family even when I was a kid. Because I met Michael Jackson back in the day, you know, and all of a sudden they found out, oh, guess what? All these rapes are going on. Let's just cover it up because this is for, you know, this is for Barack Obama, Michael Jackson. And we want nothing to do with it. We're just trying to live a normal life and have a fucking job and have to go to work and make a living before we die. But they send these people to tell me directly, and they start stage performing in front of me. These are all transgenders. They're all like, oh, that's my, oh, you think you're going to steal that from Celestina? Oh, no, that, you know, Raymond Palomo last night. And so the gay men will show up, and they start doing this, like, and they start role-playing in front of me, like trying to get my attention, trying to make me believe of whatever's going on. I want nothing to do with it. You do not own his money. You do have no right to say what this man did for me or say who my mother or any relatives get. He is my father. We share the same birthday. We share every he was born January 6th just like I was. Julian was probably 5 or 6 years old when this man had already lost his mind. He barely knew this old man. So it was just me and Frankie. And anyway, regardless, we're all equal because we're all three brothers that lived in this house. Whoever the psychologist, whoever is spending this money, they're the fucking thieves. They're the ones that threw my father in a casket and said, Celestina, if you don't do what we tell you to do, we're not going to get you this house and this car. We're going to fix everything. We're going to tell you how we're going to poison everything out and make this for, how we're going to get away with whatever the fuck we want to get away with. And I'm finding this out. You went against everything what Mr. Raymond Paloma wanted. This is fucking stolen money. If you steal if you went to a bank and stole $50,000 dollars from someone, or like you're gonna go to fucking prison and jail for a very fucking long time. That is not a joke. This is being done under the rug, and this is being done by a group of very wealthy people, and they have corrupted police officers involved in this. This money is stolen. As much as I have not talked about it for a long time, they will come over to me and start bringing this shit up in front of me. And it's like threatening. When I go to the gas station around the corner, they'll send some heavy-built black guy to then sort of charge at me to let me know that if we can steal whatever we want. Remember we did that murder attempt on you? And so then it starts all over again. For those that don't know, I've already made videos of the murder attempt that was placed against me many years ago. When I first started being homeless, I was about 30 years old. They put a knife to my throat. I had fractured ribs. They were punning as hard as they could on my throat and face, and they held me hostage with a knife, and it was 3 of them in the middle of the night at a cemetery, and I was covered in blood, beaten innocently. And I started pleading to them because I didn't know what the fuck was happening. I said, "Who sent you? Who sent you?" And someone has sent them to send a message that if you don't do what I fucking tell you to do, I'm gonna send some of the niggas that are gonna take care of this fucking shit and see who wants to go to prison. Like, they talk fucking crazy, like black power crazy. And when that doesn't work, it's like the homosexual shit. Like, it's the transgenders and all this, and it's fucked up because I've tried to avoid all that shit. Like, I ran away from the state for several years to fucking die things out. My mother told me to call, when my mother's twin, when it happened, told me to call the police, and I said, do not call the police because they're going to come after you and they're going to start sending up groups. If they went to prison and they said, oh, they would have spent 10, 15 fucking years in a penitentiary. Oh, you want to pull a knife out? But I can't say anything and I can't do anything because the police officers are all homosexuals and transgenders, and they're going along with, let's see who's going to take power. And I don't want anything to do with it. So the people that are right now that are invested in stealing my father's wealth and getting my mother to use as a weapon against me is because, look, my mother deserves, and her sisters, I don't know where they showed up, but they were never a part of our life. They showed up as identical triplets. That's fine. I have no business if you want to buy somebody a house like that. But you don't have any business stealing what my father wanted and against all his rules and wishes and the story that he had wanted. He did not die for your fucking faggots and your fucking transgenders to steal whatever the fuck you want, and for the niggas of Barack Obama, because that's just what this is. You know, like, oh, let's fight for the white power, King Cooper, or whatever it may be, and it becomes very prejudiced. Like, I'm not kidding you. I literally just got off, a few hours ago when I got out of the pool. I booked a fucking ride to get to the fucking train station, and the guy in the car looks like Barack Obama. And this guy then starts to sort of insinuate toward me, and I know what he's talking about. I know those death talks, and he starts telling me like, oh yeah, just little by little you're gonna die. And I know what he's talking about. I'm not fucking like trying to instigate things. But he starts to say shit like that, little by little. You don't know how we kill people. We little by little suffering to death. President Barack Obama, this is who I am. And so they start to get really fucking crazy. They think they're President Barack Obama. They think they're doing this for the black movement. They're doing this for Keynote 97.9 The Beat. They're doing this for Kent. Oh no, I'm going to tell you how the story really went. They think this is a TV show. They think this is who can hurt, steal, who can sacrifice more to steal what Hector and Mr. Raymond Paloma wanted and cover up any rapes and homosexual behavior, and then we'll just fool Miss Celestina and her sisters because they have a first-grade education. We're going to make ourselves look like angels. Nobody cares. But my father is my father. And I'm telling you right now, they're sending swarms of fucking people and dispatching them all over the fucking place. They know exactly who Lucio is, my mom's ex-boyfriend that was involved in some theft with my father. My father was drooling out of his fucking mouth when he saw this motherfucker. Like, I was there. I knew what my father wanted. I wanted to follow out his wishes. I spoke about it with my siblings. I don't know who showed up with my mother because my mother was put in submission. She had nowhere to go. So they got her to do all the trash shit in order for them to invest and steal anything that they wanted. Mr. Raymond Palomo did not put some transgender piece of shit to say you were just there to fix anything. You weren't fixer to anything. You're fucking thieves. You had me. I did the fucking labor. My brother was there that went through suffering. Julian was fucking there. My mother's where you weren't. You can't speak on behalf of somebody who died fucking 22 fucking years ago. And now you're getting caught, and now you're threatening me because you don't want me to say anything? And I can't go to the fucking police. I'm telling you, I can't. How many times I've gone to the police? How many times I've gone to the FBI centers, made phone calls, I've written letters. They're all blocking me off. And so, I'm telling you, this is like, it's very frightening. It's really scary shit. And I think it's important for me to talk about. I hope. Still have no idea how these electronic devices can be fucking abused and used on a human being for this long, because they're just wishing death. Like my mother is 68 years old, and I can tell you this: I have not seen my mother in since I was 30. The last time I saw her was when I went to eat at a Mexican restaurant with her. They sent her twin to go, her identical triplet, to go into that apartment and pretend to be my mother. So all I do is I'm as nice as I can, so she gets familiar with me and all this other shit. She's desperate, scavenging for any remains my father has, thinking that money and property is hers herself. And then she's, oh no, I'm doing it for, no, my father wouldn't have wanted you in the fucking picture. That's not yours. But since they're twins, that belongs to her too. And I'm not going to argue. Because I can't. But it's the psychologists and the people that bought these houses and cars. I don't know who's spending all this money. You stole my fucking father's wealth, and it went against everything, and you're using my mother as a trash can. And now they're just waiting for me to develop cancer and die and wither my life away. This is stolen fucking money. My father's truck got fucking stolen. All his equipment. My father was left nothing but a bag of clothes, and now they just want to cover it up, and they beat the shit out of me with these electronic devices to change the story, to tell you that this is not what happened, to tell you this is going on. And anybody in any normal set of mind would have experienced what I experienced, would be outraged. Because if you're willing to dispose of that person and my dead sister, and Alvar was sleeping underneath the bridge after chemotherapy, you're only after one thing, and that's death. You're just scavenging like a fucking rodent to see whatever you can steal and take and live a fantasy world for your transgender fucking movement. Right now, Patricia Gadina, I don't know if this person is alive, I don't think they are no more, who raped me and shot these electronic devices to beat the fuck out of me. Swarms of them is it's my mother's it's my mother's half sister. It's not her identical sister that's related. This is fucking crazy. This is like a homicide. This person cut their fucking balls and dick off, and is involved with this is how territorial and thieving some family members in that circle are. And I can't be pointing fingers, because I am a forgiving person, but this is really fucking bad, because the police, you have to have money and lawyers, and whoever's spending this money is using it to scavenge and take anything else that they want. That's all they're fucking doing. It's fucking crazy. to do this to anyone. Like, I don't even care if the person was a transgender and the transgender had a lot of money and said, I want this money to go to a transgender, but another transgender fucking and gay man just fucking stole it. I'd be like, yeah, that's really wrong. This person's money and last wishes, they wanted their that's wrong, you know? That's how I would go about it. They don't give a shit. They're like, oh no, this is you know, this is how Kenneth, this is who Sarah is, this is like, what the fuck are you talking about? You weren't there, you don't know. I know who this, so they're stealing anything that they fucking want. Like, I walked out without signing any paperwork with $10,000, I think it was $6,000 out of a house that I thought was sold, that I don't know technically to this day if it really was, and to my understanding it was, and I think I'm pretty sure it was. And then there was $50,000 that ended up disappearing, but apparently there was only enough to give me $6,000 of it. And apparently, I don't even know exactly where this money came from. Like, technically with this paper, they were just like, oh, this just money just disappeared. I didn't know they bought my mother a fucking house. I thought my mother was in a bad position and there was nothing that I could do even if I wanted to. I think it's a very loving thing and kind thing that they helped my mother. But I know that they did that in investment to cover up the rapes and to take whatever wealth my father had, because my brothers are fucking gay. All my sibling brothers are all gay. They're all homosexuals, and they have their fucking transgender little relationships and their fantasy little fucking whatever relationships they have. And they built their families and everything. They're all gay pride shit. But my father was not like that. He was sleeping with my mother. He was having sex with my mother. You can't get if you're gay, you can't have an erection with a woman. You know, you don't desire that. But I say that because this man is dead and his money's missing. And there's no explanation. And if you're willing to steal all of everything and what they're doing to me, then nobody cares and does anything. And you're right, I can't. So I try to move on from it. And now there seems to be bringing it up to me because they think that they may be liable to something and they know they got caught. So now they're coming with threats at me. Like, I'm not kidding. I was at the gas station. I talked about this. They sent some black guy to fucking like charge at me, and they wait for me to turn around the corner, and he comes over and then he hits me in my hand. And like, you can tell he's faking it to try to pretend he runs into me. And I'm telling you, and it's because they start sending their threats. Like, you better think and tell you what we're going to steal from your mother and what we're going to have your mother do, because we'll just tell your mother to poison your ass. We'll just tell your mother to fucking tell you you're going to die of cancer. We'll just see how that feels like when someone that looks like their mother but is not your mother tell you you're going to get lung cancer and you're going to develop liver cancer, you're going to die in a couple of years. And to tell her to get a smile about it, get her to act real fucking crazy. Now put a bunch of pressure on my mother's twin so that she starts acting really crazy toward her kids, because she could just dispose me just like she threw away Miranda many years ago. Oh, this is for hip hop 97 on the beat. This is for Keen. This is for the gays. This is for the transgenders and gays. You weren't there. You don't know anything. But I can't do anything. That's why I leave it up to God. I can't do anything because this is stolen. This is all of it is. This is. Let me see what I can steal off the dead corpse, and I'm going to take off and make up a story, because I want to make up a story who's going to be the fucking hero. Because apparently for those that don't know, I met President Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, and they weren't very welcoming at McDonald's, where I met Michael Jackson when I was 5 years old with my father. But apparently when they showed up, they weren't there for any good reason. Also, when they charged at me when I was eating ice cream when I went to go buy ice cream at Albertsons in Carrollton. But nobody cares. As much as I've tried to move on and get away from this, I can't. But understand that these people are bringing this shit up to me. Like, I'm way down, I'm literally 25 yards away from other people at a different table, and they would just be staring at me like a fucking sniper. Like, waiting and just stalking me. Like, their attention is not like, hey, let's go swimming, family. Hey, I'm just here to get some swimming and some sun experience. Like, it's none of that. It's like fucking just stalking me, and they're watching me, and they wait for me to look, and they'll do this. And then like start laughing or do like another gesture. And the reason they do that is because they're fucking shooting the shit. They're shooting the shit out of my back, and I talk about this. They keep shooting the back, and it's bruising the spinal cord so that I can't barely move my back. God, I hope this is not permanent, but I think it could be. I have not lifted anything heavy. This is not an injury. This is not organs. This is my lower fucking back, spinal cord, and they shoot the frequency so it cripples me. I used to be, I'm still very athletic. I am not telling you this is not a natural injury. This is, I know, I'm literally getting up sometimes and it's almost like they're releasing some sort of tension that's in the back, and then they'll let go, and then all of a sudden I feel fine. I mean, it's fucking crazy. Injuries do not happen that way. You know, whatever it is, they're shooting the nervous system that injures this tissue and the spinal cord. I have no idea. It's the same frequency that they use, that they shoot all over my body, that will make muscle tissue twitch, and they'll just shoot it all over my fucking body. I mean, it's fucking crazy. Like, I got class, and I'll hopefully start a job maybe sometime mid to late next week, for a couple of days, for a couple of weeks, see how that goes, see if I can balance that out while going to school. It's going to be very challenging. I start school August 25th. I don't know what to expect. All I'm doing is praying to God that I can be successful. I'm praying to God that hopefully this is going to be successful, this patient care technician, because I'm going to start working and see how I'm going to be able to save up money for in the future to be a licensed nurse. But like I said, it is brutal. And I'll have to make another video, but I don't know who has time to watch these videos.